welcome to the Akashic Wednesday Wisdom Live, and this is your practice and me supporting you with your practice with the Akashic Records. So today what we're going to be looking at is healing ancestral suffering, trauma, and kind of any suffering wounds that we are still being affected by, courtesy of our ancestors. Now, that doesn't mean obviously that we're blaming our ancestors for choices that they made. Absolutely not. What we normally find when we are being affected by our ancestors' stuff, karmic choices and things like that, is that we are actually holding that same vibration in our energetic divine blueprint. And we choose our family, our physical family, before we come in, based on the karmic energies that they hold, so that we can then continue with the right people around us to, continue to learn and experience our karma, so we can kind of work through it and hopefully release some of the negative karma. So even though we might be directly affected by our ancestors' stuff, actually we've got this stuff already. It's just that it gets compounded by our ancestors as well. So I thought it would be fantastic to go into the Akashic Records and connect with any ancestral stuff that is ready to be healed and released. And the beautiful thing about this is that it heals your ancestor lineage as well, if they are open to having that healing, but also it heals future generations as well. So if you've got children already, you've got grandchildren, great grandchildren even, you're sending out this healing on their behalf as well, so that they then are not affected by the same things or similar things of that energy. So this is where energy healing is amazing, because we and anything that we're doing, it ripples out, so more than ourselves benefit, which is why I love energy healing, and using the Akashic Records, of course, it just elevates everything that we can do. So if you are new to using your Akashic Records, you're very, very welcome. And the Akashic Records are an amazing resource and spiritual tool that we have access to. We all have our own Akashic Records. We're all able to access our Akashic Records as long as you can kind of keep an open mind, you're curious, and don't really go into the Akashic Records with too much expectation, because when we have a lot of expectation about something, as we tend to get disappointed, because we have all of these kind of visions of, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that. And actually, with all of the kind of spiritual stuff that we can do using our intuition and all of that, it takes practice, it takes a little bit of time. And so we have to be a bit more curious about it. And let's kind of go in with an open mind, and let's just see what happens. And the way that I will be taking you through into your Akashic Record is through journeying. So through meditation, through visualization. So if you're not really up for visualization, that doesn't mean you can't access your Akashic Records. We can connect with our Akashic Records in multiple ways. So instead of visualizing, because I'm not visual either, I use my imagination, but I also like to open up my other senses. So kind of maybe feel my way in. Also, I might hear some certain things. So just know that you can embody your Akashic Records in any way that feels right for you. And a lot of people will use just their sense of knowing. They know that they're in there. It just feels different. And so that is enough for you to be doing what you need to do, and also to receive the guidance that is, that we request be given. So just keep an open mind. The way that I do this is that I'll get us connected to Mother Earth. So it's really important that we stay physically grounded. We're connected with our spiritual support team and divine source, and then we'll go into the Akashic Records. So as I say, I wanted to do ancestral healing. So I want you to just think about, just spend a couple of seconds or so just thinking about what would you like to release from the Akashic Records. So are you experiencing a particular health issue that seems to be something that's passed down through the generation? So I know there's much more to health issues than just kind of generational stuff, but if we can add an extra layer of healing into that condition, then it's certainly not going to do any harm. So if there's anything that you can think there, is there a particular pattern that you keep seeing? So Is there a kind of a relationship dynamic that you've seen, say, with your parents that you seem to be repeating? That's also something that you could look at. Is the kind of the way that you see kind of money coming into the family and leaving the family? You know, did you experience as a child with growing up kind of money struggles, and are you still struggling with money yourself? These are the types of things that I want you to just kind of think about, and if you can, bring some consciousness to it, bring it into the mind, and you can use that as an intention. Now, if you can't think of anything, what we will be doing is we'll be connecting with the thing that is going to be supporting you the most. So when it comes forward for it to be healed, this will be the thing that you most need at this time. So don't worry if you've not got anything, and just know that you can go back and watch this. So if you go and think, oh my God, I wish I'd picked that, because then something comes to your mind, then just go back and watch this. You can watch this multiple times and you'll get a different level of information and consciousness, but a different level of healing each time you do this work. Okay, so that's enough about me chatting. And okay, so I can see that Jerry is here. Good to see you, Jerry. And yes, it was my end. So I'm glad that you're able to hear me now. Okay, so as I say, if you're watching the replay, do put in #replay in the comments, just so I know that you've locked in this information, received the healing. So if you just want to relax, and this is just an opportunity, not only for you to connect with your Akashic Records and just build up this practice for yourself, but this is just giving yourself a little bit of time as well. So you're just kind of saying yes to you, just for a few minutes. So on a self-worth scale, this is a great practice also to engage with. Okay, so I just want you to take a deep breath in. So close your eyes and take a deep breath in for me. And we're just going to call back your energy from across time and space, people and events. And on that out breath, just start to relax, giving yourself permission just to let go, release any thoughts, any energies that are not serving you. And just imagine, sense, feel, or know that these are just being drained into the earth. And again, take a deep breath in, calling back your energy from across time and space, people and events. And on that out breath, we're just going to release any other people's energies, any lower astral energy, entities, grey field spirits, anything that's not for our highest good health, mental, emotional, spiritual well-being is just being released back to the earth. And again, take another deep breath in. And on that out breath, bring your attention to your shoulders and allow them to fully relax. Allow the forehead to soften and the jaw just to rest and become loose. And you'll notice that your body is really starting to relax into the chair, into the bed. And it will start to feel a little bit heavier as you become more and more relaxed. And as you become relaxed, you'll start to sense, feel, or know that there's thick, strong roots coming from the soles of your feet. And these thick, strong roots are starting to make their way into the earth, deep, deep down through the soil, through the rocks, through the stones, through the shale, deep, deep into the earth. And your roots are heading towards the center of the planet. And there, at the heart of Mother Earth, is a large crystal. And I want you to wrap your roots around that large crystal and just take notice or imagine or sense or feel what color, what kind of crystal that is. Whatever kind of crystal that is, this is exactly what you need to bring yourself into perfect balance within your chakras, within your aura, within your whole being. So as you wrap your roots around the crystal, you'll notice that the energy, the color, starting to transfer into the roots, and your roots are drawing up this energy very, very quickly, almost like a drink being sucked up a straw. You'll notice that the energy is moving quickly and fast, back up through the roots, through the soil. And we're going to take this energy through every chakra, all of the main chakras in the physical and etheric bodies. So taking it through the Earth Star chakra below your feet. As we take the energy through, you may feel a shift of being. You may feel your chakras light up, turn on, or come into balance. So the Earth Star chakra is just being switched on, and the energy is now moving into your physical feet. So you may start to feel tingling or a numbness, and that's all perfect. And the energy is starting to rise up the legs, up to the knees, up to the thighs. We're taking the energy now up through the base of the spine, through the root chakra, and allowing it to rise now up through the sex organs and through the sacral chakra. Taking it higher again now through the navel chakra, below the belly button. Taking it higher again now up through the solar plexus. I just want to allow the energy just to expand in the solar plexus here. I feel there's some blockages here, so we're just going to imagine that color is just expanding in the belly area and just really elevating the solar plexus chakra. This is your willpower, this is your confidence, your motivation. So just really elevating and amplifying the energy there. Now it's now starting to make its way up higher, up to the heart chakra. And again, we'll just pause as the heart chakra is filled with this beautiful crystalline energy. Filling up with that beautiful color. And then taking the energy up higher again, up to the throat, down the shoulders, down to the arms, all the way down to the hands. And if you've not got your hands and your palms faced upwards, then I want you to face the backs of the hands on your legs so that you're opening up your palm chakras to the ceiling. And so we're putting ourselves in a more receptive mode to receive the healing and the guidance today. So bringing your attention back up to the throat, taking it through the throat chakra. The energy is now traveling up to the third eye. And you may start to feel a pressure at the third eye, the point between your eyebrows. Just as we're activating the third eye and we're waking it up. The energy is now moving around to the side of the head, moving in through the ears, into the eardrums, and through the ear chakras. Really opening up the ear chakras here. And you may start to actually experience a high-pitched noise, or again, just a shift here where your awareness or your hearing becomes more acute. And then we're taking the energy up into the third eye, through the pineal gland, the pituitary glands, and up to the crown. And allowing the crown chakra to open, wide, wide open. And allow the energy and the crystalline, beautiful light from Mother Earth to shine through the etheric chakras, through the top of the head. And your soul star chakra, your universal chakra, and your stellar gateway chakra all light up as their own individual spheres of light above the head. And your causal chakra is opening just at the back of the head, 3 to 4 inches away from the back. And this is your point of connection with your Akashic Records through the causal chakra, through to the 5th dimension and above. So bringing your attention now to your third eye, and as you bring your attention to your third eye, we're just going to ask for the third eye to open further. And then we're going to call in our spiritual support team. So our spiritual support team, we're going to call in any beings of 100% pure love and light that wish to support you with this Akashic record connection today. Any ancestors, any family members, your personal spirit guide team, any angels, ascended masters, goddess, divine masculine energies, any star beings, star races, galactic councils. We invite all of you here today. We're going to call in 6 archangels to place you in a sphere of angelic light, further holding you whilst you connect with your Akashic records. So call in Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, and Raphael. Archangel Michael stands behind you, Archangel Gabriel to your left, Archangel Uriel in front, and Archangel Raphael to your right. We're going to invite Archangel Sandalphon, who brings up a connection to the crystalline grid of the earth. And we're going to ask him just to allow that fiery white connection, that cord of connection, just asking him to plug that into our earth star, which is below your feet. So again, as he's plugging that in, you may again feel a shift of energy as the earth star perhaps glows even brighter. And your earth star connects with your ancestral Akashic records, your bloodlines. So we're just further activating that particular aspect of our Akashic records so we can access it easily and effortlessly. We're bringing in now Archangel Metatron, who's going to place a cord of energy from divine source. And this is a fiery golden white cord of energy. And he also plugs this in to our stellar gateway chakra, which is the etheric chakra right at the top above our head. So it's about 1.5 meters above our heads. And when he plugs that in, each of your etheric chakras glow even brighter with this beautiful golden light. And this starts off a chain reaction that continues through the physical body, each chakra point, the crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, the navel, the sacral, the roots, down your legs, all the way down into your earth star. All of them are now glowing with this beautiful golden light. And I'm just going to ask for the archangels just to seal off that angelic sphere of light that you're being held in. And we're going to request now that your ego steps up, moves away from your physical body, and we're going to invite your ego now to leave the room, which your ego is quite happy to do. Opens the door, steps into another room or into a corridor, and you close the door gently behind. Your ego knows that you'll be back soon enough to reconnect. So with our ego and our human minds and that aspect of ourselves now released for this time, you know that any guidance or any information that comes through will be from your guides, your higher self, and not your human mind. So bringing your attention now to your third eye again. You're being held in this beautiful angelic light. You've been grounded, you've been connected to divine source, and all of your spiritual support team are here holding the space. So bringing your awareness to your third eye and start to imagine there's a purple portal of light that's starting to get bigger and bigger. Bigger and bigger, and it gets so big that you can step through that purple portal of light. And as you step through that purple portal of light, find yourself in your corridor. And this is the corridor that leads you to your Akashic records. So start to walk down towards that large door. And as you're walking down the corridor, just really take in your environments, touching the walls perhaps, noticing what the walls look like, what the lighting is like, what the floor sounds like or feels like. Really open up your senses. This is your opportunity to really go full in with embodying your Akashic Records. So open up all of the senses as much as possible. And as you get to the door at the end, just notice what it looks like. Look for your details on the door. So your full name, your date of birth, your place of birth. And once you know that those details are there, or you can see them or imagine them, place your hand on the door handle and open the door to your Akashic Records. As you step into your Akashic Records, allow the door to gently shut behind you. Take a few more steps in and take in the splendor and the grandeur of your cosmic library. Has your library changed since the last time you came? And just know that it can change every time that you come into your Akashic Records, and that's perfect. But you may notice that you're surrounded by thousands upon thousands of books, or there may be just a few. Either way is perfect. And I want you to start to notice that you have a large table in the center of your Akashic Records, and I want you to head over to that table. And on that table, you'll notice that there's a large book. This is your present lifetime book that is being constantly updated with information that is being recorded, perhaps photographs and drawings and pictures that are also being added. And these are recording all of the thoughts, all of the choices, all of the actions, all of the results that you are creating day in, day out. Everything has been recorded and placed into this book. And we're going to now invite your Akashic record keepers, the ones that wish to support you with today's healing. And you may find that you may have a guide that maybe you've not met before, that perhaps just covers off the ancestral lineage and healing. So we're going to invite your guides now to start to approach you, start to walk towards you in your Akashic Records. And if you're not aware of who they are, then do introduce yourself in any way that feels appropriate. And say hello and ask for a name if they have one. Notice what your guides look like. And you may find that your guides just present themselves as a sphere of energy, or perhaps you can't see them properly. They may be an animal, or they may look like an angel, or a particular ascended master or guide. However your guides present themselves is also perfect. And your guides are smiling because they know that you're here to do important work today. That whatever we do today is not only affecting yourself and supporting yourself, but it's also going to support your family members, your ancestors, and all of the future generations that are yet to be born on your lineage. So your guides are now inviting you to walk over to a room, over towards a door. And this door is placed in the top right-hand corner of your Akashic Record. So following your guides, I want you to head over to that door. And as you get to the door, I just want you to notice what that door looks like, perhaps what it feels like, or what can you imagine? And your guides are letting you know that when you step through this door, there's going to be a circle on the floor that your guides would like you to stand on. So walking into this room, you'll notice that perhaps this is just a smaller aspect of your library that still has many, many books within it. But there before you on the floor, there's a large green circle. And as the guides have asked you, you go and stand on that green circle. And as soon as you stand on that green circle, you'll notice that there's two lines of light that then light themselves up. And each of these lines represents your maternal and paternal line. So having these lines show and present themselves means that we can direct any healing that we do today down those particular lines, and that any of the ancestors that wish to step forward onto the line are agreeing to receive the healing for their highest good. So I'm just now going to place a statement, a declaration into your Akashic record, requesting that all of the healing that we do today is for the highest good of all concerned, and that there is no insistence on any souls stepping forward to have this healing. We only request for souls to step forward if they feel or know that it is in their alignment for their journey moving forward. Everything that has been done today will not change any of the situations or history of the Akashic records. What we are going to be doing is releasing the energetic hold that those particular circumstances, lifetimes, stories, trauma, whatever it may be, we're just releasing the energetic hold. If it's appropriate, if it's in alignment for that soul. So I'm just making that declaration for all Akashic records that will be connected in with this healing, and for all souls. So your paternal line is on your right hand side, your maternal line is on your left. So we're going to start with both lines, but we're going to request now any intentions, anything that you're conscious of that you feel that you would like to release, that is still creating a repeat program of behavior or thinking, being. And this could be connected to feast and famine with money. It could be connected to deservability. It could be people pleasing. It could be dysfunctional relationships, abandonment issues, whatever this repeat pattern that you feel that is still manifesting in your own life, health issues, bring that to the fore. And your guides, your Akashic record guides, step forward and they take that as a piece of paper with all of that information on. And if you haven't got anything that you are conscious of, we're just going to also request that all souls that are wishing to be healed on these lines, that are in repeat patterns of suffering for their authentic expression, suffering for their wisdom, sharing their wisdom, suffering for sharing their truth, suffering for sharing their beliefs. We wish to invite now on the maternal and paternal line all ancestors that wish to step onto that line. And you may notice that there's energies, particular figures that will start to step onto the lines, both on your maternal and your paternal line. And these are all the souls that wish to accept the healing today. We're now going to invite Archangel Raphael to step into your Akashic Records, who will appear before you as you're still standing on this green circle with these green lines attached. Archangel Raphael takes hold of your hands. And you'll notice at his heart space, his heart is starting to glow green. And this glowing green starts to get bigger at the heart space. And this green light starts to connect with your own heart. And you'll notice that your heart space is also starting to grow and glow green. So you're receiving this beautiful heart energy from Archangel Raphael. He's holding your hands very gently. And you'll notice that this green healing energy is now starting to transmit through your body into the green circle and starting to further light up those green lines. And the healing starts to make its way down both maternal and paternal lines. And it's because these souls are all stood on these lines, you'll notice that their bodies, their light bodies, are starting to glow green also as they receive the healing, releasing all aspects of suffering. And the Akashic Records will start to release the energy. Any agreements that can be released, any trauma that's held within their own divine soul blueprint, within the Akashic Records, that is now being released. The energies of suffering in all its forms are now being released. And the green energy is just starting to absorb all of the agreements, the patterns, the programming, the contracts, the implants, the imprints, the illusions, the conditioning, the trauma, the cords, the hooks, anything that can be released that holds this energy of suffering is being dissolved by this beautiful green light that's emanating from you and Archangel Raphael. You may feel a shift of energy within your own being as you are also receiving this healing and releasing any patterns, any programming, any beliefs that are still creating suffering within your own experience. Health issues, relationship troubles, money worries. And as we release these energies, this allows for new ideas, new thoughts, perhaps new drive and motivation, new consciousness of how you can change the pattern of behavior, change the mindsets, so that you don't continue a pattern of suffering in any way, but you look for the solutions that will bring more freedom, more peace, more opportunity, more stillness, more joy, more love. So the green light is starting to dim, and those ancestors start to step off both of those lines. And we're now going to ask for any souls that wish to step back on the lines that are being affected by the energy of fear. So all souls that are being affected by the energy of fear, Can we now have those ancestors move onto the lines? And again, anything that you are feeling around the energy of fear, things that are holding you back, we're asking for Archangel Raphael now to send more green healing energy and light through his heart, through your hands, through your body, through your feet into the circle and down those lines, and all of the souls that have stepped forward that are being still traumatized, affected by fear, deep-seated fear from persecution, from retribution, from punishment, torture. Or fear of just being authentic in themselves, having a voice, having freedom. We're sending this healing now so that they can release the effects of having this fear, releasing the effects of all that was experienced in those lifetimes that has affected and compounded the fear. And for yourself, receive this healing so that you can also let go of any fears that don't make sense but are still showing up for you. Fears that are holding you back from moving forward, from being yourself, from wanting to create change, to experience change. We're just releasing this fear now, and this green, beautiful light is absorbing, taking all of these fears away. All of the trauma that is attached to the fear is being dissolved in the green light. And then the green light starts to dim, and the ancestors start to step off. And we're just going to thank all souls that showed up today, that were willing to receive the healing, which will support them on their next experience, or perhaps their present. We give thanks to Archangel Raphael and to our Akashic Record keepers for holding the space, for administering the healing, and also give thanks to ourselves for being here today, for wanting to work with the Akashic Records and to support our own healing journey. And you'll notice in the distance that there's one particular figure that's starting to walk towards you. And this is one of your ancestors. And you may get a sense of who they are. You may be able to imagine what they look like, or perhaps you can see them or just know that they're there. And this ancestor is requesting that you open up your hands. And the ancestor drops a gift, a symbol or an object into your hands. And I want you to look at the gift or notice what the gift is. And this is a token of their thanks, but also a token of you being able to remember your ancestors. And if you want clarity around what that token means, then I give you an opportunity now to ask any questions and listen for the answers. And then when you're ready, your ancestors step back. And it's now time to leave this particular room. So Archangel Raphael steps back and gives you the opportunity now to step off that circle. And your Akashic Record Keeper opens the door. And you can head, following your Akashic Record Keeper, back into your Akashic Records, into the main library. Your Akashic Record Keeper just takes you over to your present lifetime book. And pulling the book towards you, you'll notice that the information, that experience has already been recorded, and you can perhaps see it as a photograph or an illustration of you standing on that circle, receiving that healing and sending that healing down the ancestral lines. You'll also notice that there's a space for you now to press that symbol, that gift, into the page of your Akashic Records. And as we press that into the page, it disappears and becomes part of your present lifetime book. And we're just activating, further enhancing that connection with your ancestors. And so whenever you think of that particular symbol, you know that you can call in your ancestors at any time to support you, to get wisdom, to get guidance, to get knowledge. So your guides are now stepping forward to say goodbye, which you can do in any way that feels appropriate. And then when you're ready, start to head towards the door of your Akashic Records. Take one more look around your library. And then when you're ready, I want you to step through the door, into the corridor, and allow the door to shut behind you. And when it shuts, I want you to actively say out loud or in your mind, I now close my Akashic Records. Start to head towards the purple swirling light at the end of the corridor. When you get to that swirling light, step through that portal and start to bring yourself back into the physical body. Start to rub your thighs with your hands. Start to rub your feet. And as you're doing this, you're grounding the messages, grounding the healing into the physical body. But what we're also doing is we're grounding back into the body in a much quicker way. So just using your body. And my intention is for you to continue to receive that healing, for your ancestors to continue to receive that healing. And for any further messages or guidance that need to come through from your ancestors, we're just allowing the open channels there for that to happen. So random things might just drop into your consciousness, into your awareness. You may overhear conversations. You may read certain pieces of text, and there'll just be that connection with your ancestors. So just know that that's a message that's coming through for you. So we're just intending that as well, just to further enhance that particular healing. So do let me know how you get on. What was your symbol? What was your gift? And did you get a sense of how many ancestors actually stepped forward onto the lines? Was there more on your paternal line? Was there more on your maternal line? So I'd be just interested to know, because that just gives you information as well in terms of where much of the healing was going. And it probably won't come to a surprise to you as well that perhaps you feel that one side of your family definitely needs more healing than the others. So it'll be it's just awareness, it's just knowledge for you. But just know that you've received and you've also administered some very deep healing today. So do make sure that you drink lots of water over the next 24 hours, because the healing will continue to integrate into your divine soul blueprint through the different body layers, and your higher self and your guides will continue to support you with that integration. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that the sound stayed, because my earphones went a bit funny. So you're very, very welcome. So I'm just going to stop recording. So if you do want to reach out, if you do want to do something very similar like that, but actually with your with different topics, different themes, then I would love you to explore the Akashic Record masterclasses that I do. I've got a whole library of lifetime access downloads available now, all different themes, all different topics, all very relevant whenever you watch them. And they include healing, they include activity sheets, so we get clear before we go in the Akashic Records, they include a pendulum healing. So there's a lot more packed into 2 hours. So I've got a whole wealth of different ones available. So do get in contact if you'd like to access that library. The masterclasses themselves are only £21, or you can kind of get a subscription, or you can buy more than one, like a bundle of them, and they work out even cheaper per class. So they're incredible value, but they're really, 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 really powerful, and they really do help with our Akashic Record practice, but also with our own healing journey. So I hope you enjoyed that. Love and blessings, and I'll speak to you soon.